Welcome back to the Steve and Tyler show. Not Steve and Tyler like we talk about every
we need to
single
come up with a
week.
new intro, Steve. It's
Well, I mean, I don't know. I kind of like it. It's
It's
stupid.
got
It's
it's
cheesy.
a little warm place in my heart for Steve.
We're
and
low budget. You know, get over it.
Low budget. Can't afford anyone to come up with new jokes for us yet. So
I mean, neither one of us have long enough hair,
that's true.
and I mean, I don't look like
I can't even afford to grow new hair. That's how poor this show is. We're bumming it.
I definitely don't look like I'm anorexic either, like he does. So
hey,
there is that. Oh. But you know what? You don't like that?
I'm 180 pounds of straight fear.
Straight fear. I bring the pain when I walk in the room.
Let them know.
If you haven't listened to us before,
what the hell's
start
wrong
doing
with
it
you?
more.
You
better be okay with it. We report news that people typically don't hear or they don't see because, well, I think people
There's
should.
probably a variety of reasons.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of reasons, but it's mainly because the stuff we talk about we think's funny. To an extent, we just make fun of people.
Pretty funny. We're not really role models.
No. Do not take life advice unless it's quoted after other great men or women before me, which we will talk about today. If you like stupid, witty humor at times, but overall sarcasm, please follow us on Twitter at @SteveTyler_show. Send us hate mail.
Love mail.
Love mail. I do like.
We don't get too much of that, do we?
No, we get a lot of hate though. And send us article ideas. You guys want to talk about something? We'll interact with you. Just give us time. We both have full-time jobs. Let us, read into the article. If we don't like it,
we'll probably just never talk about it ever again.
We don't like it. Find us something else to pair it with. Be like, hey man, this is trash. I don't want to talk about this. At steveandtylershow@gmail.com. That's our Gmail. Send the news. Thanks. Subscribe to us on iTunes and follow us on Podbean. And we got YouTube up. People requested it. Find us on YouTube at The Steve and Tyler Show.
Yeah, who requested YouTube? I didn't even know people used YouTube.
What, Mike? McKalen? I don't know. Let's go. Two of our avid listeners.
Two
out of the 5.
Ask and you shall receive.
We give the people what they want when they want it. 9 episodes in.
Unless they want the episode to come out on Saturday, then we can't do that.
No. That's I've been working. I've been working the last
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Last Saturday, we had a long show, and then I worked yesterday. So this is
no consistency.
No consistency. I work second shifts. Get over it.
Let's get into the show, Steve.
All right, we'll stop bantering. Tyler, let me know what you think about it. Is the city of Sacramento paying gang members $1.5 million not to kill?
I think I should become a gang member, Steve.
I think I'm about to cash.
I think I can do it.
Check.
You can catch me outside, Steve. How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
Oh, so, California's capital city is contracted with a nonprofit organization for a pilot program aimed at ending gun violence. Okay, so right there, they have good cause. I'm trying to be as optimistic as I can right now because that's going to change.
Sounds like a good idea, Steve. I want to end gun violence.
I want to end gun violence too. Here we go. Following a fatal shooting last weekend in a city park, the Sacramento City Council unanimously approved a controversial program called Advance Peace in an effort to address a recent spike in violence. Okay, yet again, this sounds good.
This looks good so far, Steve.
Yep, this is going good. The program offers gang members cash stipends for graduating from school and generally staying out of trouble. Hold on. So
you lost me.
Right there. Do they not understand what a gang member does?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
do gang members actually graduate school?
Nope, not really. You know what they do? They're making like thousands of dollars a day just standing on a corner. I mean, realistically,
$1.5 million doesn't seem like that much money, though, does it?
Not really. Not to gang members out there.
Not to California, not the state of California either.
When I think of gang members and then I think of California, I think like hardcore, rampant everywhere. Maybe that's just television right in my brain. The $1.5 million in cash stipends to gang members will come from the city's general fund. Wait a minute. Now there's a problem. The similar program is being used in Richmond, California, and Stockton is considering it. So now we didn't find anything in Richmond. If you guys find something, send it to us and we'll talk about it. We'll review it next week. I'm okay with that. But from the city's general fund? So what? You're going to shit out 1.5 mil, hand it over to thugs, literal thugs.
Hey, man. We don't need roads. We need to get the gang members off the streets and congratulate them for finishing school.
Man, earthquakes? Nah.
Where's my stipend for finishing school?
Yeah, man, I finished school twice.
I was actually in a gang, Steve, and then I got my stipend and quit.
Oh, man. Now, this article is from Snopes, and they rated it mostly false.
Yeah, we did the fact-checking website, Steve. That's how up-to-date we are. We don't mess around.
No, Snopes is mostly left-leaning.
Yeah, you can tell the article.
I mean,
what they rated as false was indeed, like, false. Like, it's not coming out of the general fund. They're doing matching or something ridiculous that doesn't change the story at all.
Exactly. So
I tried to be, what do you call it? Even, Steve.
Optimistically understanding. Even. Exactly. So,
but the Snopes website doesn't.
Tyler, let's pretend that this article, instead of mostly false, it was mostly true. Let's pretend this is all hypothetical. Okay. What are you thinking? You're gonna pay gang members to potentially stop killing people? I don't.
Why wouldn't they just take the money and then kill?
Why would they think this is successful? What you could take the money and buy better guns. You know what 1.5 million is going to do to your arsenal? Amp it up a lot. Hey, you know what? I want a howitzer. I want to take down a skyscraper.
Gen 5 Glock just came out.
I want to take down a skyscraper from San Francisco.
Gen 5. The new Glock just came out, Steve. They deserve better.
Oh. Hey now, don't.
Maybe they're left-handed. They can use it.
They can use it now. There you go. You're gonna outfit your whole crew. Man, how does it shoot if it's plastic?
Just make a Lil Wayne reference in the middle of our show.
Yeah, old Wayne. I mean, old Weezy. He's my guy. I gotta be honest. I struggle with believing that people actually feel that giving money to people who do violence on a regular basis is a good thing.
No. And the article points out that the average stipend is like $300 to $500 in that like range. That's not going to stop anything, Steve.
No, it's not. That's not even enough to be like, well, if you do this, could you not kill anybody? Be like, no, I'm going to take this and then I'm going to go kill 2 people.
Like, what? I don't understand how that's going to convince someone to turn it all around. Like, thanks for the $300. I'm going to go buy cigarettes and shoot more people.
I mean, I don't get that. I really don't. What?
It's all right. I'm sure California didn't need the money anyway.
I'm pretty sure they didn't.
Oh.
So 1.5 divided by
Are you doing 3. The math right now?
I did. That's what, 5,000? 5,000 gang members are going to get paid. Why don't you lock them up? They're gang members. So if they're associated with it, that's fine, you know, whatever. If they're running with tattoos, that means they did something. Typically. Regardless, maybe
if I was a gang leader, I would get all of my guys to enroll in this so we could get paid and then go back to what we were doing.
Exactly. That's exactly what I would do. You know what I was thinking? You get all your guys to enroll and then see how much you come up with and then purchase a business or open a business and then make your money legal and still kill people. But hey, what do I know? You know what?
Join the Steve and Tyler Show gang. We are officially enrolling members.
If you're
in California, bonus points.
Bonus points.
Is that how gangs work? Do they got points?
You get monetary.
Only problem is if you join, you got to get our thumbs up logo tattooed on your face.
Yeah, it's got to be on your face.
Like
neck
Mike
is acceptable.
Tyson, like Mike Tyson.
Play stupid games, Tyler.
You still win stupid prizes.
You still win stupid prizes. I guess we're just lucky that Snopes rated this article mostly false. But let's hear it. But this next story is 100% true.
Well,
because this is a joke and disgusting. Well, I mean, it's true because she
said it.
I don't know what this is actually. Talked about it, and it
just makes me shake my head, Steve.
This makes me want to vomit. People that actually feel this way are disgusting.
You want me to say it, Steve, or you want to say it? You look like you're pretty excited to say it, Steve.
I'm amped. Black Lives Matter leader. Stop saying white privilege and start saying white supremacy. What? Why? Why? White supremacy? What are you being suppressed by?
That's hard in America, the greatest country on the face of the earth. What do you want, man?
You have every single right that a white person does. Every single one.
They're being held down by the institution, Steve.
No, they're being held down by their own selves.
Oh. That's white supremacy, I guess.
I guess that is white supremacy.
I learned a lot on this show.
Ah, man, they're being held down by their own conscience. They feel guilty about their own actions, and that's why they're like, no, you gotta feel bad. You gotta feel bad for us.
Hit him with the quotes, Steve. It gets worse. The title's bad, but the quotes are worse.
I got plenty of quotes.
I know you got a quote. Here we go. He's hit him.
The International Ambassador for Black Lives Matter Network is urging. They have their own network now, just for you. You didn't know. Urging allies of the movement to stop saying white privilege and start saying
allies.
Allies. Janaya Khan, co-founder of Black Lives Matter Toronto, which isn't even anyway.
Not even in the U.S.
Explaining the semantic differences between two phrases and the need for change. Now I watched the video and it's dribble. It was well done.
Yeah, but what she's saying is dribble.
But I mean, like, yeah, no, you're stupid. Popular social justice discourse has used white privilege to describe the benefits that come with whiteness. What?
We went over this, Steve. I punched my white privilege card. I got a Ford F-150.
Oh, every day.
My job, you know.
F-150. I'm rocking like a 650. I'm rocking. You know, it's not a real thing. You know, because white privilege isn't real.
Oh.
The problem with describing white privilege is that it looks at the individual as opposed to the system. Oh, wait a minute. The system.
What system would she rather have? That's what I want.
Khan, who now resides in Cali.
Oh,
so she. Oh, no, I didn't see that one coming. I was expecting maybe New York. Up, Cali.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Texas. Wisconsin.
Missouri.
Yeah, one of those great red states. No, I would have never guessed California.
Points out that there are many white people in the United States whose personal circumstances might dispel the notion of a privileged life. However, collectively, she says Caucasians have always had a systematic advantage because the country was built on the concept of white supremacy. I'm pretty sure the country was built on the concept of white dudes killing other white dudes.
For freedom.
So that they could believe in the God they want to believe in. And about, 100 years or so later, things got a little murky. And that was mainly because they just wanted to do their own stuff in the South. It wasn't even about slavery.
No. About states' rights, Steve.
States' rights. They wanted more rights. The North was like, nah. No, I don't think so. And the South was like, oh, all right, well, we're going to secede. There you go. That's how it starts. Slavery wasn't really even the topic until Lincoln was like, man, we're going to free everybody. Who was Republican, by the way.
And he just freed him in the South to give him the big finger.
Yeah.
Only freed the ones in the South. Still funny. Funny.
It is still funny because that's true. Despite the fact that there are all of these determinants of white supremacy, really, like what?
Yeah, she has no examples. She's just like, it's everywhere. It's holding me down right now.
I feel so oppressed. The weight, it's crushing. We will struggle to actually name the system itself. Exactly! You can't!
Because there is no name.
There is no name. We can't be more afraid of naming white supremacy than of white supremacy. White privilege is only half of the conversation. Khan speaks about Charlottesville and the White House as those represent the whole of white people. She literally talks about Charlottesville as like, oh yeah, every white person's like this. Not even close.
That seems pretty racist to me, Steve.
I don't have a Charger, or I don't have a Challenger. How am I gonna? I can't do that. I don't feel that way. I didn't want to march in a street with some Nazi flag, goose stepping and screaming that Jews should die. That's horrible. I am super pro-Israel. Just saying.
Yeah, that's not our show.
No. Like,
it must be, though. Close. She said it is. She said we're all like that, Steve.
No, I mean, on the show, we've talked time and time again that white supremacists are gross. They're disgusting human beings. I want nothing to do with them in any mean. Any mean. Absolutely not. I was called a...
She's grouping us all together, Steve. She's
absolutely.
grouping us all together.
It's identity politics. When I was going through school, you tell somebody what your heritage is. In my case, I'm German. I have a lot of German. They're like, you're a Nazi. Whoa. No, and it was a joke back then, so we'd laugh. Because I'm not a Nazi.
Oh. Thanks for clearing that up. The people were concerned.
I know the people were upset. But it's stupid shit like that. Like, no, I'm not. Just because my heritage is. I mean, that's like saying, oh, well, you're black, so you're tribal. No, you were raised in Toronto. You came to California. Welcome to America, by the way, where you have the ability to talk like this. Anyway. Second.
The whole problem is she says the system, but she never points out anything. Yep.
We struggle to name the system.
Like, what are you talking about? If there is instances of racism somewhere,
yep,
we should probably point it out because I want to fight racism too, Steve.
Yeah, me too.
But you just can't say the system. How are we going to tear down the system? What system?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. What, because a white man's in the house again? And they're calling Trump now. Trump pissed me off this week personally, but you're calling him a white supremacist, which last time I checked, Jesse Jackson gave him a what medal? How many pictures of it is going around?
Yeah, they hang out.
What was it, African American or it's some type of medal talking about how much he's contributed to black communities.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it either, but
see, and I'm sure somebody will correct us coming up in the week.
You idiots! It's clearly XYZ medal.
Get it together. You guys aren't even news people. Get it together.
You guys aren't real.
Fake news.
And you're going to call somebody a racist who has done so much. The man paid $35 million in taxes.
That's a lot.
Million! I don't know if I'll make that in a lifetime. Well, once the show blows up, I'm going to be hella
I will.
Hella
I don't
rich.
know about you, Steve.
Oh, man, I'm about to be
balling out of budget.
Baby, be a millionaire. I'm about to... He's not a Nazi. He's not a member of the Klan. Trump, I'm talking about. But you see what upset me this week? He's working directly with Pelosi and Schumer on this DACA shit. And that upset me. I'm all about people who, on the DACA program, okay, this is my personal feel here. We're gonna sidestep a wee bit.
We're sidestepping. Woo!
Wee bit. Give me a little bit. I want to talk about DACA a little bit. We're gonna sidestep a little bit. I'm all about people who want to stay here legally, who want to go about it the right way. If you just want to live off me, then I know. Get out, and like violently get out. Get the fuck out. I don't want you here. If you're gonna try, I was talking to somebody earlier this week. It's a true story, and she's on the DACA program. She has known no country other than this one but she works 2 jobs. She's going to school for nursing. She has a driver's license, a social security number, and pays taxes, but is not a citizen. She claimed that she cannot file for citizenship because of what is going on. She didn't specify.
That sounds like an excuse, Steve.
That's what I'm saying. If you file for citizenship, or if you can apply for a visa, which in turn you can then file for citizenship, do it. Please do it. If you're going to contribute to our society, that's what we want as a country.
Right.
That's what I want. That's what I would want as a business
what
owner.
What excuse do you have at this point? Like,
You don't. You have none. You've been given every chance possible. Well, at least according to her, you haven't yet. But I'm hoping that they allow that. She wants to stay here. She already pays taxes, according to her. Let's make that legitimate. My opinion. I had to bash Trump.
We sidestep it all over him, man.
he was a bit of an ass.
He's gonna make America great again, one way or another, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, Khan. She went to Boston. She represented Black Lives Matter. After Charlottesville, after the woman was killed in Charlottesville, and she stated that it was she quoted saying, "Failure to condemn white supremacy means that they're condoning it," and referring to Trump. You know, now I just bashed him a little bit, but he did condone it, or he condemned it.
I thought he condemned both sides.
He did.
That sounds fire to me.
But he condemned Antifa more. That was literally the topic then. He condemned Antifa more, and that's what was upsetting. I heard people spin it like Ben Shapiro spun it like he feels that the alt-right is a big part of his base. I don't think so.
I don't think the alt-right is big in general.
I don't think so either. The alt-right is way out there.
The alt-left is a lot bigger.
The alt-left is massive. I would say like half of California is alt-left. I mean, Black Lives Matter, regardless of any of this, Black Lives Matter is a straight-up hate group.
That's right.
I mean, they push extreme racism. They are alt-left. Antifa, alt-left.
Well, maybe she'll listen to our podcast and tell us what systematic means. That'd be very helpful.
I don't think
because
so.
I want to help too, Steve. I don't like racism.
I do too.
If she could just point it out, that'd be great.
But you know what? Here, Tyler, this has actually happened. I think I've told you this story before, but I'm going to tell our listeners too. People talk about
time.
Just saying. Black Lives Matter, they pushed out white people out of their organization that wanted to help them. Like you and I, we want to fight racism. But they pushed them out simply because of the color of their skin.
That sounds pretty racist.
That's extremely racist. This comes to my story. I had a black friend for over a decade. We're good friends. And during this last presidential election, with Trump and Hillary and all that, he called me a racist. And it was only because of the color of my skin. It wasn't for past actions, mainly because I was a friend to him. I was close with him during the time he lost his mother, the time he lost his sister. Both died when I was around. And it came down to I was racist because I'm white. I'm inherently racist because of the color of my skin. So,
boy, with friends like these, who needs enemies?
That's what I'm saying. And it's like I think about it because, the person I'm talking about, he ended up having a child with a white woman. So
I'm very confused now. You really lost me.
That's what I'm saying. If he actually feels that white people are racist, why would you put yourself in that situation? I feel that the Black Lives Matter movement at its core is very meaningful, personally. I've said it before on the show. I feel that it holds a lot of weight at its core. When you branch out and you get all these people talking, well, no, it's just white supremacy. No, I feel that's way out of retrospect. That's wrong. There is violence, but typically it's do as you're told, and you don't get shot. I feel that they're brainwashing all these kids and all these young people, these millennials, into hating somebody that looks different than you because
or themselves.
Or themselves.
Which might be worse.
Yeah, I feel it's disgusting.
Steve, I think the next story is relevant.
It is extremely relevant. That's why I'm excited to talk about it.
New study, Steve.
Oh, tell me about it.
Majority of minorities haven't faced discrimination.
Wait a minute. What did we just talk about?
All the thing we just said, ignore it. Out the window, Steve.
No.
Everything we just talked about was a lie.
No.
According to this new study.
Oh, man, this can't be true. This can't be true. A transgendered immigrant who says white people are racist just told us otherwise in their story, Tyler.
So, this study, led by some professor, consisted of reviewing response data from a survey of 14,000 Americans. Find the vast majority claim to have never or rarely been a victim of discrimination. The results, consistent across racial lines, found that only 25% of Americans responded yes to ever experiencing discrimination. Now,
really?
Now, the story tries to spin it 75% have not, 25% have. So you can spin it either way, right?
You sure can.
And that's sort of why we're here. We're here to clear the air, Steve.
We are going to absolutely clear this air. Now, the study was led by Professor Brian Boutwell.
Yeah, see, he knows his name. I just said the professor.
The professor. I do.
The professor.
The professor. And he goes to say, people have rightly pointed out that 25% of the population is a lot of people, which, I mean, last time I checked, it is.
That's one out of 4.
He told Campus Reform. It's still millions of people, which is true, and that's far higher than what we would like to see. Yeah.
Yep.
We talked about it before. Racism, no bueno.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
Spanish.
Yeah, I know. That's far higher than we would like to see. Ideally, you want that number to increasing towards the mythical 0 point. Well, yeah, no kidding. I mean,
yeah. There's a reason it calls it mythical. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You're gonna have crazy people.
No shit.
Some outliers, no matter what, right?
We went on to say that we always want to be striving for a lower percentage of folks that feel discriminated against. But even so, when you have 3/4 of the sample saying no, that's an interesting finding, and that was true across racial and ethnic groups. So let's really break this down. 14,000 people. Obviously, I don't have details on how many minorities were asked.
Yeah, they don't really
how
explain.
Many this, how many that.
They don't explain any of that, do they?
But you mean to tell me that there is an influx of Muslims coming in, that even out of 1/4 of the entire country, I'm assuming they reached out to people. This is all assumption, so don't read into this.
Yeah, we sort of gotta assume they did it evenly, right? You can't just ask like 14,000 white people.
Yeah, you can't say that, because then I would say that this is trash. I would. But you mean to tell me that out of the Muslims you asked, which are taking a whole lot of shit right now, and rightfully so because they're horrible people, you mean to tell me that 1/4 of them said, yeah, we've seen racism. That's it? Really? Because you're murdering like millions of people. Not you exactly, but your beliefs by hundreds of thousands over in the Middle East.
You know what this tells me? Most people are just want to be left alone, and 75% of people are just left alone. That's what it tells
Absolutely.
me. They just want to go to work, do their job, come home, go to bed.
Be pissed off they got to wake up.
Go back
Wake
to work.
up,
They want
go
to be
back to
left
work.
alone.
So, Tyler, here's the thing. So here's a question. I'm going to ask you a question. Is there racism?
Yes.
Absolutely. There is racism in the world. There always will be, because not everybody is always happy with what everybody else is doing all the time. Tyler, is racism acceptable in society?
No.
No, it's not. It's called a taboo. It's gross. It's disgusting. People don't like it. And some people associate certain comments with racism, even though it does not carry weight and is not racism. So what do we do to solve this issue? Because I got a quote here by a fantastic human being.
Hit him with the quote, Steve.
I happen to admire very much. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Do you know who said that?
I got to guess, but I want you to tell him.
Martin Luther King Jr. And
I was right, just so you know.
Yeah. He was a great man, and he was.
We should send this quote to the Black Lives Matter lady.
See, that's funny because I got that in my notes too.
We should.
You listen to a quote from a great man who did exactly what Black Lives Matter is claiming to do, right?
Claiming, Steve.
Exactly. But in my opinion, and people I might lose people here. The major difference that I haven't seen or heard anyone talk about, this is legit. I thought about it. Black Lives Matter does not preach anything about faith.
No, I don't think so.
Right? They don't preach about respecting God, worshiping. They don't preach about anything other than hating white people. They focus on hate and separation, not love and unity. And I feel that Martin Luther King Jr. was an amazing man and should really be sought out by people who claim to fight against racism.
You should take some notes.
Yeah, take some notes. Rewind this. Listen again. Share this. I'm serious.
Well, you have these violent protests. It just makes everyone like,
It puts everybody on edge.
Nobody wants to support something like that.
What happened? Ben Shapiro spoke in Berkeley, UC Berkeley this week.
I'm sure that went pretty well.
It actually did. It went okay. There were some arrests, but I don't believe anybody was injured. I don't believe. And what they said, UC Berkeley said they spent like $600,000 on security.
We're in the wrong industry,
one guy.
Steve.
Yeah, man. I know. I got Ben Shapiro, man. When you listen to this, all right. I know we're gonna be.
We can be your security.
Yeah, man. I'm.
We said it before. 180 pounds, Steve. Straight fear.
I mean, straight fear. When I walk into a room, people look over and say, "Oh God."
Nobody will mess with you.
Oh, he's gross. I mean,
straight fear, Steve. We could do it.
Now let's talk about some. I mean, we could do it.
We moving on, Steve?
No, now you got me thinking about security. Anyway, yeah, we're moving on. Hillary Clinton on her political future.
We have not talked about Hillary Clinton, I don't think, on this show.
You know what? I don't know if we have. Now
we have, and now we're done. Oh, we're actually gonna talk about it. I thought that was gonna be it.
What happened?
We got some fake news right out of the New York Times. Steve.
This is straight up fake news. Hillary Clinton said, "I am done with being a candidate." This was the title of this article.
And you know what I did, Steve? I did a little jig.
Oh, did you?
Gave
yeah,
some
so
applause.
I was so happy. The title reads Hillary Clinton on her political future. I am done with being a candidate. Okay, so she said that. You're done with being a candidate. All right, cool. Good.
Yeah.
You are trash. You are absolute garbage.
They haven't won anything.
I should have wrote down. I listened to Shapiro the other day. He talks about the states that Trump won in. He was winning. Shit, I can't remember the stats now. He won. He had less votes than people who lost against like Obama in what 2010, 2014, no, 2008 and 2012. They lost. He had less votes than people who lost against Obama.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, they had record turnout in 2012, 2008. So.
Just
that might be part of it. That might be part of it.
It might be. It might be. I mean, I could stand corrected.
We got a lot of shout-outs for Shapiro on this show.
Yeah, I like Ben. I listen to Ben. I like Crowder, too.
You think
Crowder's
he listens to us?
No, I don't think he hates us. But I think I'm going to try it and pitch our show to Not Gay Jared, who is, I believe, one of the producers for Crowder's show.
Send it to him. Maybe he'll listen.
He'll be like, hey, man.
Check this out. And then do a dab. Check this out.
You guys are hilarious. Oh, check out my dab. I am done with being a candidate, Hillary said during an interview on CBS this Sunday morning.
Woo!
Hillary said she would still like a place in American life. All right.
You got to live somewhere, right?
All right. I mean, yeah, okay.
Does she mean like my life? No. Thank you.
I am not done with politics because I literally believe that our country's future is at stake, referring to Trump and her plans to try and hold him accountable.
Wait, this sounds like fake news, Steve. The title says she's done. The second quote says, "I am
She
not
ain't going
done."
nowhere. She ain't going nowhere.
Damn New York Times, they're fake news.
You mean to tell me you're going to start the headline of an article, which is, I mean, it's good clickbait. I'll say that.
That's really all it is.
And then literally a paragraph in and be like, I'm not really done with it, but
I will never leave.
I will never leave him. Oh, man.
What is she gonna do if she's not gonna be a candidate though? Like, what else are you gonna do in politics? Just like be on CNN and be like, he's a terrible candidate.
She's a horrible human being. I really do not care for her.
No, me neither.
I have no fond words of her because she just, when you can look at somebody and say that it's okay to abort a child literally hours before birth, you're a piece of shit.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that. I was just talking about how, like, her and her husband are like grimy. So
they are, yeah.
They take a lot of money from special interest groups.
Oh yeah.
You know, they don't care. It's all about them dollars.
It's all about them Benjamins. Which, hey, don't get me wrong, I love money too, but I'm not gonna sacrifice
my integrity,
my soul. I can't sell myself for money. I'd rather be miserable and somehow end up in heaven. But hey, that's just me.
And then the article just promotes her book, and I don't really want to do that on this show. So we're not gonna, Steve. We're not promoting her book on this show.
No, we're not. We're not promoting her book.
Because that's all the rest of the article is. It's got some fake news in the top, and then it promotes her book.
That's literally what it is. Amazon, though.
You know who's not promoting her book?
Exactly.
Well, I guess they might be.
I mean, they're not really promoting it, but it's a platform.
This was news that after I read it, I was like, oh, I can see why that's being done.
Exactly. That's exactly. When I seen this article, I was like, all right, there's probably a good reason here. There's probably a whole lot of...
my reaction. My reaction was, they're at it again. Not again. We're talking
Tell them about it.
Amazon is removing 1-star reviews from Hillary Clinton's new book. Steve, that headline. They wrote that headline like they are going to get clicks.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. And they did.
And they did because we're talking about it right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, it's a funny story. Amazon, they're on the defensive this week after receiving criticism for deleting negative reviews of Hillary Clinton's new book.
Which sounds pretty bad.
It sounds really bad, mainly because she blames everybody but herself. Anyway. And it sounds bad on Amazon because that shows favoritism, which... It's not even real favoritism because they're not even pro-Trump in this case.
Well, they don't really say what the reviewer said, but they don't. In the article, they talk about Review Meta, which I've never heard of, but I guess it's a website that analyzes the authenticity of Amazon reviews.
Yep.
Said that 25% of Clinton's book reviews were suspicious.
Quote unquote.
A designation it gives to reviewers who have only reviewed one title. So I'm sure these were like accounts that were like Trump 2020.
Yeah, like MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. Build the wall. I mean, they were probably like the good rallying cry of Trump fans. But
I mean, if they gave her 1 star and that's all it was, I mean, I don't really see the problem, to be honest.
I don't either. I got to be honest. I mean, I feel you're allowed to preach whatever you want, but
that's not a book review.
No, I mean, and Amazon's a company, like
they gotta hold some legitimacy.
They should have the right and the ability to say, nah, I'm sorry, this is stupid.
It'd be different if it was a real review, like you actually read the book.
Absolutely. If you read the book and you were like, no, this woman is absolutely
you just can't garbage. And now we don't know what they're saying, right?
We don't. We weren't given examples.
But if I had to guess, it's Trump, build that wall.
Yep.
Trump.
MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. I mean, which...
If I'm looking at book reviews... It ruins the integrity of the review if, like, there's a whole bunch of fake ones at the top or the bottom.
Yep.
I don't really see the problem.
Absolutely not.
People like to try and link these things and say, oh, it's the liberal bias. But I don't think it is in this case.
I don't either. I really don't. I thought, at first, I'm sitting there, I'm like, these damn commies.
They're at it again.
They're at it again.
Trying to take our freedoms.
Trying to take away my First Amendment. I'm like, you know what? No, I think they carry ways here. Especially because it's a business. Like, it's a public forum in that sense. Like, you should have the right to be able to be like, all right, well, this has no relevance. Why is this here? And negate that. Or contact the user and say, hey, this is dumb.
But it's the thing I noticed was that it's their first review.
Yeah,
There's never been a day in my life, Steve, where I woke up and said, you know what I'm going to do today?
I wanna shit on Hillary's book on Amazon. I wanna write a bad review.
No. I woke up today and said I'm gonna become an expert book reviewer on Amazon. I'm gonna start with Hillary's review.
What happened?
And that's it. No other book reviews. I mean,
nah, it's whatever.
Fake news, Steve.
I think it was fake news. I think it was trash. Anyway, moving on. Harvard withdraws fellowship invitation to Chelsea Manning.
And this article got updated. We were going to talk about it, that they extended the fellowship.
Yes.
And then a day later, they withdrew it. So here we are.
So let's get some backdrop. The Institute of Politics at Harvard Kennedy School announced Wednesday that Chelsea Manning would be one of its visiting fellows. But less than 2 days later, the school's dean withdrew the invitation. Manning was released from a military prison in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, in May after serving 7 years of a 35-year sentence, which was commuted by former President Barack Obama. Before leaving office in January, Obama said he felt justice had been served. Well, I'm gonna stop right there and
she got 35 years.
At 35 years, 35 years, and for
you served 7
treason
for treason against the country, Steve.
Yeah, you're an absolute piece of shit. Like I obviously on this show I've expressed disagreement against transgenderism and how I feel about it, but
regardless, you're a treason.
You're a horrible
traitor to the country.
You
Justice
willingly
was served though, 7 years.
No, absolutely not. You knowingly gave classified information to people who could do harm with that. You put people's lives in risk, in harm. It's serious harm. Because you're just gross. You're a degenerate. You are a horrible person, and people prop you up like some hero. It's truly upsetting to hear that someone would feel that justice has been served because you wanted to have your penis removed. That is, in my opinion, that's the only reason this person has been set free. There's what other reason is there? You shit on your country. Your entire country, everybody, 330 million people. You pulled your pants down and you just took a great number 2 on the flag. And you got 7 years? Pretty sure child molesters get more than 7 years. That's one kid. That's not all the kids.
No. She put them all in danger, Steve.
All of them. Everybody. And
we're not trying to talk down child molestation, but...
No,
we're just talking about scope.
Yeah, child molestation's gross. That's
the one thing about this story, though, when they initially announced she was going to get the fellowship, there was a lot of blowback.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Morrell, is that saying it right? Former deputy director and acting director of the CIA, resigned his senior fellowship post at Harvard over the school's decision to include Manning. He said he could not be a part of an organization that honors a convicted felon and leaker of classified information.
Now, a short time later, CIA Director Mike Pompeo canceled an appearance at the school where he was scheduled to discuss such topics as Russian involvement in the presidential election and the nuclear standoff with North Korea. It's a quote.
Good to see this.
Absolutely. This is good news. Minutes after the event was to begin, Douglas M. L. Mendorf, dean of the John F. Kennedy School of Government, took the stage and told the audience Pompeo was not there and would not speak. In a statement released late Thursday, Elmendorf said the school did not intend to honor Manning in any way or to endorse any of her words or deeds.
See, that's what you say, but that's not what you did.
Exactly. That's not what you did. People took it They feel people took it out of context. I feel
how could you take it out of context? You offered her a fellowship position. I don't know what a visiting fellow does.
I believe it's just an honored speaker.
Like an honor thing?
Yes. Well, obviously it's an honor to some people because these people who resigned and refused to speak took it as an honor to be able to do so. That's my interpretation of this is you went and you took people who you alienated people who have fought for the country, worked for the country, and helped protect the country, and then you allow somebody who is blatantly and openly disrespected and put the country in harm in your door and to speak to people about being gross.
And then they withdrew. So there you go.
Yeah.
Harvard finally did something right for once. Who would have thought?
Yeah, there you go. Wow. Who would have seen that coming? I mean, so regardless of how I feel about Chelsea Manning, you choose to be whatever you want to be. That's fine. The school should be able to open this invitation to somebody. They should be. This person should be able to talk, right? It's your First Amendment. You should be allowed.
Talk, but you got to expect the blowback. That's coming.
Exactly. You cannot expect people to just, you know what? You're right. We're just gonna go with it. You can't expect that because that's not fair, right? It's not right.
Gotta be ready. Gotta be ready for the blowback 'cause it's coming. And
all in all, you're allowed to make the choices you want to make. You're allowed to do what you want to do. But don't expect everybody to go with it. And I know we've said it on this show before. You cannot expect everybody to love every decision that you make just because you are you. Who gives a shit what you are? Nobody. Nobody. Oh. Make whatever choices you want to make, but don't expect people to
deal with the consequences.
Exactly. Be an adult. Don't be a traitorous child. Anyway, moving on.
Last story, Steve.
Last story for the day. PC madness. Portland police stop tracking gains because members aren't white. Wow!
I should have known, Steve.
Who would have seen this coming? Actually, I didn't see this.
I actually did not. This was out of left field.
The Portland Police Bureau, or the PPB, in Oregon, is deleting its gang database because most gang members are ethnic minorities.
That seems like a shit reason.
Well, no shit. Well, okay. So in October, the PBP will end its 20-year-old practice of designating criminals as gang members, or gang associates amidst increasing pressure from the local community. Oh!
I refuse to believe that the local community is saying we should not track gang members.
I feel that it's family members and gang members themselves that are preaching this. I do, honest to God. This is wrong. Bad news. This is garbage. This is bad. The move comes after local reporter Carly Brosseau obtained a copy of the database. Brosseau?
That's a cool last name. I won't lie.
Yeah, I kind of want it now. Maybe. I don't know, is it a chick? Maybe.
Yeah, his name's Carly. I don't think that works like that.
My dog's about to have a new mommy. Obtained a copy of the database last year and discovered that 81% of the 359 criminal gang affiliates flagged in Portland's database at the time were member of a racial or ethnic minority, which apparently did not sit well with the uber-liberal denizens of Portland. So 81%. This is fact. This is numbers. This isn't like, oh, well, white supremacy is rampant. No, this is people choosing to be scum, and they happen to be minorities.
It just sounds like they're gang members, Steve.
Well, I'm trying to be polite. I'm trying to make this a little more family-friendly, and I know I've been cussing.
These are gang members, Steve.
Oh, gang members do? Oh, according to Sacramento, they kill people.
Well, maybe they should get a stipend for it.
You know what? I wonder. I bet Oregon do. I think they're better off financially as a state.
I'm sure the stipends will come out.
Here's a quote. Violent street crime in the U.S. is almost exclusively a province of blacks and Hispanics. Heather McDonald, a fellow at the Manhattan Institute and author of The War on Cops, how the new attack on law and order makes everyone less safe. This is she told LifeSet. In New York City, for example, blacks and Hispanics commit 98% of all shootings. In Chicago, whites commit less than 1% of all shootings. Blacks and Hispanics, the rest. The left denies the reality of the violent street crime because it interferes with its narrative that the police and racism are the biggest threats facing blacks today. In fact, blacks sixfold higher rate of dying by homicide compared to whites and Hispanics combined is exclusively a function of blacks. Eightfold higher rate of committing homicide compared to whites and Hispanics combined. Goes on. Intentionally ignoring truthful information that has been shown to help reduce crime is perverse any way you look at it, but it's especially perverse once you understand that it will do the most harm to the people in whose name it's supposedly being done. It's Bill Otis, a professor at Georgetown University Law and former federal prosecutor, told LifeSet. So, he goes on. If a gang of redheads was rampaging through a town on a bank robbery spree, damn redheads, should the police refrain from mentioning what they look like and seeking the public's assistance in finding them, or in maintaining their own database about the robberies? He said. Got to be honest, that's a damn good question.
That's my question. Like, what do I care what they look like if they're in a gang? They're committing violent acts, Steve. I don't care what they look like.
Yeah.
I do not care.
Do not care. Get them where?
Off
Out
the
of
streets.
my way. Yeah. I don't want to run into them.
They could be white, black, Hispanic, part of the blue man group. I do not give a shit.
Go away. You see them beat on them drums? I don't want them on the streets. Not if they're violent. If 90% of the muggings or the heroin sales in town were being undertaken by males in their 20s, should the police send this information down the memory hole? Because to a certain turn of mind, it might be taken to reflect poorly on men or young people, continued Otis. To ask these questions is to answer them, he finished. Yeah, that's a very good way to put it.
Makes sense to me. Maybe we should get this book.
Yeah, I think I'm going to read this book. Actually, I feel that this would be very useful, especially with the show. My opinion, it's truly sad to see a city take away a tool used to keep people safe simply because not enough white people wake up and want to sag their pants and commit drive-bys. But, you know, I don't know. Whatever. You want to sit here and you don't want to offend people by keeping information on them so that you have their history ready because they're scum, because they choose to be degenerates. Yeah, I mean...
This makes no sense.
What
are we going to do? We're not going to track these people?
No, apparently they're just going to run rampant and nobody's going to know who is who and why.
This is political correctness run amok.
Absolutely. This is very bad news. This is not good for the country. This is especially not good for Oregon. If, for some reason, you enjoyed what you heard today, please, once again, follow us on Twitter at @SteveTyler_show. If you hated the show, if you couldn't stand it, if you just really want to send us gross hate mail.
And then don't tell me. I don't want to hear it. I can't deal with that stress in my life.
I don't want to hear it. But if you loved it, you want to send us send us more info, we would appreciate it. SteveandTylerShow@gmail.com. Send it. Send it. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Follow us on Podbean. Don't forget to look us up on YouTube at The Steve and Tyler Show. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening. God bless you, and God bless America.